Welcome students. Today I wish to discuss Code Vita contest problem which was asked in contest 8. We start with the first problem. The problem title is square free numbers. I read the problem statement. In the theory of numbers, square free numbers have a special place. A square free number is one that is not divisible by a perfect square. Okay. Thus 72 is divisible with 36, so it is not a square free number. But 70 has factors like 1, 2, 5, 7, 10, 14, 35 and 70. As none of these are perfect square, the 70 is a square free number. 72 is not a square free number, 70 is a square free number. Okay, a square free number is a number which is not divisible by any perfect square. Okay. For some algorithm, it is important to find out the square free numbers that is divide a number. Note that 1 is not considered to be a square free number. In this problem, you are asked to write a program to find the number of square free numbers that divide a given number. Okay. So we need to identify the or count the number of square free numbers which is less than the which divides which divide by a particular number which is less than particular number. Okay. Here the input is the only line of input is a single integer n which is divisible by no prime number larger than 19. Okay, output will be one line containing an integer that gives the number of square free numbers not including 1. The constraint is the n maximum at the maximum n may be 10 to the power 9. For a given input 20, we need to get a output 3. Okay. So how we need to identify the particular number is a square free number. N, consider n equal to 10. 10 can be factorized as 2 into 5, no? Since no prime factor appears more than once. Here we have prime factors. Okay, this number can be factorized by using two prime factors 2 and 5, which no element which appears more than once when you take a factor. Okay, so since it is a square free number, and consider another number n equal to 20. So 20 can be factorized as 2 into 5. Here 2 appears more than one time, no? So it is not a square free number. So in this way we can identify particular number is square free number or not. For example, n is given as 20 means we need to identify the square free number which divides the particular n, which is less than 20 only. Okay. So for the purpose, we need to check whether number is a square free number or not first. Then we need to count the number of square free numbers which divides n. Okay. So this is the implementation for finding the number is square free or not. We need to identify the prime factor. So we need to factor it by using prime factor logic. If you factor it while factoring it, if the number that is prime factor value appears more than one means just say that it is not a prime square free number. If it is not occurring more than one time means just mention that it is a square free number. For example, for 10 you need to tell it is a square free number because no prime factor appears more than one time. Here 2 appears more than one time, no? So in this side we need to tell it is not a square free number. So for the purpose we need to find this prime factor for a particular number. Okay. So here I have included the header file and I have defined the function is square free and which accepts one argument that is an integer and returns an integer. So if it is square free means it will return 1, otherwise it returns 0. First number is just take remainder by 2. Take n and take remainder by 2. If it is 0 means you can divide n equal to that is just divide by 2 again. Okay. After dividing, if that a particular number dividing by 2 and giving the remainder as 0 means, it means that it has two frame factor which is same. So immediately you can say that it is not a square free number. Okay. So this is for pre-processing. It speed up the logic. Okay. Any number. Okay. If it is not a even number means this condition will not work. Now just start from 3 to square root of n. For finding this prime factor, don't end with n. Okay, you can strengthen the loop. Okay, or shorten the loop by iterating from 3 to square root of n itself. Okay, so if these conditions are not satisfied means immediately it may be considered as a odd number. If it is an odd number means no need to check even values. Okay, so you can increment by 2 rather than using I equal to I plus 1, just use I equal to I plus 2. This just skips the odd number even numbers. Okay, and you are checking the particular number is divided by the iterator variable. If it gives 0 means, so there is a prime factor. Okay, so if n remainder I equal to 0 means, then I is a prime factor. If I is a prime factor means just divide the n by I. Okay, and you try to again divide the particular same number by I. If you get 0 means, it means that the particular prime factor appears more than once. So immediately you can say it is not a square free number. Okay, if the condition is not satisfied, okay, if this condition fails means, it means that we have only one prime factor. That is, you have a prime factor which occurs only once. At the time after completing the loop, just print the value 1. If it is a even number, you are just dividing it, and that is getting the remainder. If it is equal to 0, first divide it. Again try to get a remainder. If it is 0 means, immediately you can say that 2 is appears more than one time as a prime factor, just return 0. And for odd number, we are checking the checking there is a particular variable is prime factor or not by taking the remainder. If it is equal to 0 means, again trying to divide. If it is again dividing and getting the remainder 0 means, just return 0, otherwise return 1. This is the concept begin. The concept begin checking whether the number is square free number or not. Okay, now I need to identify number of that is square free number which divides the particular number. For the purpose, I just get the input from the user and I iterate from 2 to don't use 1 because 1 is not accounting for this for the according to the problem. See here, 1 is not considered as a square free number. They have mentioned, I think so. See, so you start from 2 and you can check up to n by 2 only. Okay, no need to check up to n. So first take 2 and check whether it is a square free number. If it is a square free number means, just divide n by I and try to get whether it is equal to 0 or not. If it is 0 means, just consider that the particular number is square free number, and also it divides the number by that is I. It divides number by I. Okay. So if it is condition satisfied means, just increment the count by 1. Okay. In a similar way, we can iterate over the loop until n by 2 comes. Okay. So for example, for 20, there are some values up to 20. There are some values which are square free. For example, we have numbers like 5. That is to 20. We have 2 to 5. No. Okay. So the number of square free number is 3 for 20. Okay. So that is accounted here. Okay, in this way we can calculate number of number of elements which divide number of square free elements which divides given number n. Okay, we have to use two conditions. It should be a square free number and that divides the number is divisible by particular number. Okay, so if it is true, just increment the counter by 1. So finally, after completing the loop, just print the count. Next problem is clock angle. Okay, so read the problem statement. There are 360 longitude on Earth which are equidistant vertical imaginary lines drawn on the Earth, separated by 1 degree each from center of the Earth. Period of the rotation of the Earth on its axis is 24 hours. All countries have their own official times and hence time zones. UTC, that is the universal time coordinate, which passes through 0 longitude. Time at a particular location on Earth can be calculated using period of the rotations of Earth and the longitude of the particular location. So the time at a particular location can be calculated by using the period of the rotation of the Earth and the longitude of the particular location. For example, Indian time zone can be located at 82.5 longitude. Okay, hence the Indian time can be calculated as IST equal to UTC plus 24, that is a time period, divided by 360 into longitude 82.5. Okay, so finally we will get UTC plus 5 and that is 5 hours 30 minutes. Now suppose we change the period of rotation of the Earth using some imaginary power. So this will change the time at every longitude on the Earth. Calculate the smallest angle between the hour and minute hand of the clock, which shows the difference of time at a particular longitude and the time at UTC. We have to take smaller of the two angle formed between hour and minute hand. Okay. So constraint are to show the time difference on clock, 12-hour clock shall be used irrespective of the period of the Earth's rotations for these questions only. Okay. So here our objective is to calculate the smallest angle between the hour and minute of the clock. Okay. So we need to identify the time for that. No, for the first we need to use the formula. This formula. Okay. So the input format will be period of the Earth's rotations in hours in integer. Next one is value of longitude up to 2 place of decimal. The output will be smallest angle between hour and minute hand of the clock, which shows the difference between time at a particular longitude and the time at UTC up to 2 decimal places. That is, the second number will be a protein number. Okay. Here, the input is 24 and 82.5. First one is time, period of time on Earth. That is time of period in Earth. And second one is longitude 82.50. If if period of rotations of Earth 24 hours, then time at 82.5 degree longitude will be the according to the formula 24 divided by 360 into 82.5. That is 5 hours 30 minutes. And the minimum angle at this time between minute and hour will be 15 degree. That will be identified by using the formula. Okay. That is for time calculation. Okay, time equal to period of Earth rotations into longitude divided by 360, which is given here itself. See here, given here itself. For example, the period of Earth rotation is 24 and longitude is 82.5, means the output will be 5.5. That is 5 hours 30 minutes, 5.5. Okay, when you apply this formula into this equation. Okay, 24 into 82.5 divided by 360 will be 5.5. And the next one is angle calculation. Angle calculation. Clock angle problems relate to two different measurements, that is angles and time. The angle is typically measured in degrees from the Markov number 12 clockwise. The time is usually based on 12-hour clock. Okay. See, a method to solve such a problem is to consider the rate of change of the angle in degrees per minute. Okay. For example, the hour hand of a normal 12-hour analog clock turns 360 degree in 12 hours. That is 360 degree in 720 minutes or 0.5 degree per minute. Okay, per minute it will travel 0.5 degree. Okay, accordingly the minute hand rotates through 360 degree in 60 minutes or 6 degree per minute. This can be this statement can be formulated by using the formula hour angle equal to 0.5, that is 0.5 per minute into hour. That is hour in that will be in the range between 0 and 12. Okay, hour into 60 plus minute. Okay, so the hour angle can be calculated by using this formula. Then equation for the angle of the minute angle, okay, per minute 6 degree will be traveled. Okay, so the minute angle can be called calculated by using 6 into m. Okay, now just apply this value. For example, you have calculated 5 hours 30 minutes, no? Okay, just apply here 5 hours 30 minutes here. Okay, hour angle, you will get hour angle and minute angle. Okay, just apply here. Hour angle equal to 0.5 into 5 into 60 plus 30 equal to 165, and minute angle equal to 6 into 30. Okay, 5 or 30 minutes is just taking 30 minutes. 6 into 30, 180. Just find the angle by using the formula angle equal to absolute difference between the hour angle minus minute angle. Okay, that is 165 absolute value of 165 minus 180 equal to 15 degree. This will be the final output for this. See here, this is the final output. Okay, for implementing this problem, just include the header file and find the minimum angle between the hour and the minute hand. Okay, this is used to identify minimum element among two numbers. Minimum among two numbers. If x is less than y, just return 1. Just return x, otherwise return y by using this logic. This is called a conditional statement. Okay, and for calculating the angle, just pass the hour values and minute values, and you can handle invalid input by checking this condition. If hour less than 0 or minute less than 0 or hour greater than 12 and minute greater than 60 means just tell it is a wrong input. If hour equal to 12 means just set h equal to 0, and minute equal to 60 means just set minute equal to 0. Okay, because hour equal to 12 means starting from 0. Okay, so 0 angle. Minute equal to 60 means starting from 0 angle. That is why set. Next, for calculating hour angle, use the formula 0.5 into 60 plus m. For minute angle, just use 16 m. Already I told. It is how long it travels per minute, that is calculated, and the angle formed by the minute and hour angle will be identified by using the absolute difference between hour angle minus minute angle. Then it may exceed 360 degree. Okay, or that can be there is to return the smaller angle of two possible angles, we use a minimum function, minimum of 360 minus angle comma angle. Okay, so whichever is minimum, that is returned to the angle variable, and finally you are returning the angle. So for implementing this problem, just get hour values and longitude value, longitude value, and just use apply the formula hour divided by 360 into longitude, and that is stored in the result variable. Okay, next to get the for example, for input 20 and 82.5, you will get 5.5, no? So for from this you need to get the 5 separately and 0.5 separately. Okay, to find the hour angle and minute angle values. So how to get hour and minute value? So to get hour value, just use Floor of result. So actually, result will produce a decimal point value 5.5. If you apply Floor function, means you will get a whole number. Okay. So now M1 will be a 5, and for getting that is 0.5 decimal point values, we apply the formula result minus integer of result. Result is 5.5, integer of result means 5. 5 minus 5 equal to 0.5. That 0.5 value is multiplied by 60 to get 30. Okay. So finally the this function 5 hours 30 minutes value is passed to the calculation angle. This will return 15 degree. Okay. So which is based on a mathematical problem. So we need to remember 3 formulas. Recall it again. This formula, okay, which is given in the question itself, and this problem for angle of the hover hand, for finding the angle of the hover hand. This problem. The third one is equation of the angle of the minute hand. Okay. So I show the demo. Take Corvetta 8. Sorry. Okay, to find Pfeffer square. Okay, for a given number 20. For the first problem, I'm showing the demo. For 20, it will return. Okay, only one number. Huh? Sorry, for 20, it will return 3. No, here I need to apply I less than or equal to n by 2. I forgot to give. Now apply for 20, you will get 3. This is the answer. Okay. Next problem is okay. I gave 24 and 82.5. We'll get 15 here. Okay. 5.5 here. 5 from 5.5 I extracted 5 separately and 30 separately. Finally calculated by using the formula to get 15. Next give 12 360. It from 0 angle. Okay, so 12 when 12 o'clock means small hand and big hand are available in the same position, so it will leads to 0 degree. Okay, in this way we can solve this problem. We will discuss further problems in future. Thank you.